How are you doing, everyone? And welcome to another webcast of the Panenka View. Um, one on Indian football today, and necessarily because Real Kashmir have gone top of the table. Yes, you heard me right. Real Kashmir have got top of the table after their 1-0 win over Gokulam Kerala FC, with Churchill brothers losing to Shillong yesterday, and with East Bengal having three games in hand, and with East Bengal facing Real Kashmir. There are so many talking points on this episode of the Panenka View, and we have a very special guest with us, Abhranil Roy. Abhranil, it's our pleasure to have you here on the Panenka View. Can you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Absolutely, Prasad. It's a pleasure to be here on the Panenka View as well. Basically, I am a journalist for Khel Now Football, and I also handle digital media for Sport Walk. So, I'm
Hmm.
sort of a freelancer,
Hmm.
and I cover Indian football extensively. I'm a huge East Bengal fan myself. Been that way
Oh,
in
yeah.
my family. Been that way in my family for generations. So you can understand
Fabulous.
it's a cultural thing.
Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, Abranil, and that brings me to my next thing that we could have you for East Bengal versus Mohan Bagan games as well in future.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, Abranil, there's so many talking points, by the way, on this episode, and
Right,
let's just begin with Real Kashmir's 1-0 win over Gokulam Kerala FC. All stay
right.
snow and the climate there, and fans turning up. So great that AIFF didn't postpone this game or let this game go through. Just let this game
Right.
go through. So your thoughts on the game today, Abranil?
I thought it was a historic game. I
Mm.
thought Hotstar. I mean, I don't know why the game wasn't broadcast on Hotstar, or why Star didn't make an effort, because I think it's the first time in Indian football history that a game has been played under snow. And
Yeah.
although it did affect the the pitch and the playing conditions, but it was a fantastic game. It was, people came in with umbrellas, and people went absolute nuts about the game. And it was a very good game. Like, despite the snow and everything, it was a decent game to watch as well as a spectator, with Krizo's goal and with Loveday playing so well in defense. Though Gokulam
True.
haven't been on the best of forms, I think they're ninth, the second last in the league probably right now. They
Mm.
haven't been doing very well this season, but it was a fantastic game to watch. And yes, this means Real Kashmir are on top of the I League right now. 32
Absolutely.
points from 16 games.
True that, and what a fairy tale that would be if they eventually go on to win. We've seen
Even
we've seen
right here.
Minerva who won, and Real
I
Kashmir.
saw the season before that.
Yeah, true that, and that was like a Leicester City of.
Absolutely.
So Real Kashmir have been fabulous. They've had a double over Chennai City FC,
Right.
and that brings me to Churchill brothers, who are also in this title mix, by the way,
Right.
and who lost to Shillong Lajong yesterday. So how did that game pan out, by the way?
I think the problem with the last game, like Churchill's defeat to Shillong, was because that they were simply overconfident. It
Hmm.
was a case of they were starting to think, like, they were starting to get ahead of themselves. And if you see the Shillong beat Minerva just before they beat Churchill yesterday, and
Hmm.
Shillong's youngsters are really coming to the fore right now. If you see, Narem Singh is doing very, very well for them, because Shillong took the decision to only pay youngsters this season, like from their academy
Yeah,
graduates, no foreigners, nothing. And like, they may
yeah.
be at the bottom of the league, but they have been making a lot of positive long-term waves in Indian football right now. And you're just seeing a glimpse of that yesterday when
Hmm.
they went ahead. Despite
Absolutely.
Churchill, having Anthony Wolf and Willis Plaza, both of them scored yesterday, but they went ahead and lost the game.
And that really was a dent to whatever the title mix might be, because I League has been so competitive. And if you look,
Absolutely.
yeah, if you look at the table, 4, 5 teams are in it.
Right.
With East Bengal, that brings me to East Bengal, by the way, who have three games in hand over Real Kashmir,
Right.
and face Neroka tomorrow before they go to Srinagar on Sunday to
Right.
face Real Kashmir. Do you think the pressure is on them now that they have three games in hand, and possibly all winning the three games will take them to 34?
The top of the league, yes. But the thing with being an East Bengal fan, it's a tragedy actually. We've sort of become the Arsenal of the I League.
Oh
We're
my God.
always in the we are always in the mix till February, and then everything goes haywire after that. So keeping that in mind, absolutely the onus is on East Bengal to chase down the lead. But I still think the title favorites are Chennai City FC. Like, you call it a jinx or whatever, but yeah, it's Chennai City FC. But yeah, the
I,
game on Sunday is huge, huge.
absolutely, and like you said, Chennai City are the favorites. They have been playing some exciting brand of football, and clearly they were on such a run where they hadn't lost until they met Real Kashmir. If I'm correct, if
Correct.
I'm wrong. And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
a few
absolutely.
draws as well. So they've the only two games that they have lost. The only two are against Real Kashmir, by the way, and have a sort of three draws there. So
Right.
they face Indian Arrows on Friday. Should that be a easy win for them? Indian
Uh,
Arrows tend to turn up, isn't it? Indian Arrows are.
yeah, they have the giant killer reputation this season. We have Rohit Danu is playing very well. Abhijit
Hmm,
Sarkar is playing very well. But I
hmm,
think I don't think Chennai City would be too worried about Indian Arrows. I mean, I expect a comfortable 2-0 win for Chennai. Probably Pedro scoring as well. He has been on a majestic scoring form of late. Like he had a bit of a mini drought in the middle, but he's returned to scoring once again. And so I
hmm.
expect them to win comfortably against Arrows. Despite Floyd Pinto's boys, they're really trying hard. They're really doing well. But yeah, Chennai City would be a bit too strong for them.
And in Shillong Lojong and Indian Arrows are the only two sides who are fielding an all Indian lineup this
Right.
time. Yes. What also, say we've spoken about Real Kashmir, we've spoken about Chennai City, East Bengal, and that brings me to their local rivals, Mohan Bagan.
Right.
East Bengal did a double over Mohan Bagan. They and but Mohan Bagan have had Khalid Jamil. They are in
Right.
a they are in bit of a transition phase, firing their previous coach.
Right.
What do you make of their season so far in the I League?
I think the problem with Mohun Bagan was because they have a lot of off-field issues. First of all,
Mm,
because they had a lot of debacle over their elections. Then this entire issue about finding sponsors for playing in the ISL next season, that has been a huge off-field issue,
mm,
especially in the Kolkata football circles.
mm,
On field, it's just that they are overtly dependent on Sonny Norde, which has not worked out well for them because he has just returned from a massive injury and is not in the best of form. He's been trying, but he hasn't been in the best of form. Dipanda Dika has been very poor in front of the goal. Henry Kiseka again very poor. Also,
mm,
their defense has been very.
mm.
It's prone to a lot of errors. Both Kim Kima and Kingsley are simply not good enough.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
there's just a overall lack of depth and lack of quality in the Mohun Bagan squad this season, which is costing them a lot of games and a lot of poor performance actually.
Hmm. And true that I hear you. And there are some games that I would like to mention here that would be decisive in the outcome of the team that goes on championship later on. Real
Right,
Kashmir East Bengal is one of that, and
right.
we have Chennai City versus Mohan Bagan. Could Mohan Bagan be the spoilers for Chennai City FC? Also, the last game, Minerva versus East Bengal. So that's like defending champions versus East Bengal. Who knows what might happen on the
Right.
last day or Sunday? So, will this still be a three-horse race according to you, or is there a fourth team also? Is Neroka still in it? Like, or is Churchill Brothers still in it? Sorry.
I don't think Mohun Bagan will provide, like, again, this is like sort of a fan perspective sort of a thing. But I don't think Mohun Bagan will provide a lot of resistance to Chennai City FC because like they would obviously prefer East Bengal not winning the I League. But
Hmm.
again, that's a completely fan based perspective. In the end, I think like last season, like the I League champion last season was decided on the very last day. It was a four-way tie sort of a thing. And I think something like that will pan out this season as well, with at least three or four teams definitely in the mix. I sort of believe it will ultimately may just boil down to Chennai and East Bengal,
Hmm.
but I cannot for like be certain that either Real Kashmir or Churchill will they'll probably also be in the mix
That this
towards
is
the end of the season.
And Abranil, we've spoken about so many things, but the sad part being here is the matches not being telecasted. Viewers have been deprived. Like both of us might be one of those few who did not want to Blues versus Kiwis today. I don't want to tell
Right.
the score, but thanks to DD Kashmir, we were able to watch the game. But the quality, as you know, in the streams does is not up to that mark. What are your comments on the broadcasting things? And that has been making wave over because Ranjit Bajaj was also very vocal about that.
Right. Yeah. So the thing is, Ranjit, I was in the press conference that Ranjit Bajaj had called in Kolkata on 30th December to protest this move of not broadcasting the remaining 80 games of the I League. And he
Absolutely.
made it very clear that he had a specific set of demands, which, if they were not addressed by the 5th of January, he would be taking the AIFF to court. So the AIFF had since come out and said that they would bear the production cost of these remaining games. But they have, posted a lot of excuses when it comes to Kashmir games, like saying that the OB vans have got stuck in the snow and stuff like that. So the thing is, it's very difficult to sort of really understand if like what's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, we've been fortunate that DD Kashmir broadcast the game today because it was absolutely majestic to watch, and we hope that no matter what the issues are, the AIFF will honor their statement, and we will be able to see the rest of the games as well, because the I
Fair
League has been
point.
absolutely phenomenal this season.
110%. I can't agree with you more, and I've been following it. And as you mentioned, the last day of the last season, it was a 4 horse race, and I was following it continuously. It was a cliffhanger, and until the last were
Absolutely.
champions. So the last 2 seasons have proved that I League is the best in the country, and the excitement it provides. These twists, this competition. You see Shillong beating Churchill. You know
Churchill,
that
yeah.
a team that is so below, I think bottom of the league is beating someone who's fighting for the title, and
Title,
that
yeah.
competitive. And fair enough, Abhranil. Good, some fair, good points on the games. And
Right.
let's build up to Real Kashmir versus East Bengal on Sunday. It's a super Sunday in the I League.
Right.
Um, East Bengal for the win. Real Kashmir win or a draw?
It's. I would obviously go for East Bengal for the win, but then it's a very difficult away game in Srinagar. It will probably be snowing, so
Hmm.
it's like next to impossible to predict. But I think the bigger context of that game will be East Bengal winning the Neroka game tomorrow. That
Hmm.
is a massive game. If East Bengal win that, they you build the momentum after the Derby win, because historically teams that have won the Kolkata Derby have not done so well in the games following that. So East Bengal needs to break that jinx. If
Absolutely.
that jinx is broken, I think they'll go into the real Kashmir game with a lot of confidence, because our defense has been doing very well. Both Johnny Acosta and Borak Gomez have been excellent.
Yeah.
Real Kashmir have not had that much luck in terms of their strikers scoring a lot of goals. Krizo has just scored 4 goals this season.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, correct.
Surchandra, Surchandra has been doing well, but then he's a wide forward, so he's not a direct threat. On the other hand, East Bengal have had Jobby Justin, who is completely on fire this season.
Hmm.
Tony Doval has been in the goal. Eskeda has just returned in the derby. He just made his bow up in the 70th or 75th minute, I think. So
Hmm.
East Bengal is sort of returning into the like it's time for East Bengal to press on the paddle and push forward to the league. And it's imperative that they win the Neroka game tomorrow so that you can build on to the real Kashmir game. It will be a
And
cracker. It will be a cracking game, absolutely.
and 5 p.m. tomorrow, guys. East Bengal face Neroka. It's a crucial game. They have 3 games in hand over. 1 second. Yeah, they have 3 games in hand, and that could be a decisive factor, like Abranil mentioned correctly. That could be a momentum builder for Sunday, and seeing that they can go like 2 points clear after they have played their share of 16 games. This one is very, very important. And Abradil, we've spoken about broadcasting rights. Let's speak a little more on Real Kashmir. Real Kashmir have 3 games left, if I'm not wrong. One is East Bengal, one is Minerva, and one is Indian Arrows against Indian Arrows. And I think both the games are away after East Bengal. Yes, Indian
Right,
Arrows
yeah.
is away. Indian Arrows is away, and Minerva is at in Srinagar. So, do you think the pressure entirely is now on East Bengal, considering the chunk of games they have and the opponents they have to face?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always difficult to play catch up, especially if you know that like history does not support it. It has been something that has been going on since 2009. Then history does not support East Bengal when they are playing catch up. and February has always been a difficult month for us. Like it
Hmm.
is with Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing to say, but it is the way it is. So, but then I have also like I've seen the squad this season, and the attitude that our coach Alejandro Menendez has. He's a very positive guy, and he sort of looks to build on the confidence. He sort of focuses more on the players than on the results. So keeping that in mind, I think yes, the pressure is definitely on East Bengal. The pressure is also on Chennai because Chennai also have 2 games in hand over Real Kashmir FC. So all that combined, yes, the pressure is on and the chase is on. But I won't make any predictions because it's really hard to call when it comes to the I League.
True
It's
that. True.
impossible to call.
And let's also get your thoughts on Chennai City season so far, because everyone's been talking about East Bengal, everyone's been talking about Mohan Bagan, but Chennai City have done their tiki taka, and Chennai City have had kind of football,
Right,
and they were staggering. Some of those results were staggering in the build up to this the position that they are in. So,
right.
your comments on Chennai City FC season whole before we move on to
I think
anything.
I think Chennai City's positive performance has been solely down to the fact that they, like in the preseason, both Akbar Nawaz and his former assistant Huls Vela, who is currently in the MLS, they went to Spain for around 2 or 3 months and they picked up very good quality players. They picked up Pedro Manzi, they picked up Nestor, they picked up Sandro, they picked up Santana. Their Spanish contingent is very strong, and this has not happened by it's not something that you stumble across. You do solid groundwork, you scout
Proper.
properly, and
Hmm.
that is it is the result that it's showing right now in their position in the league, in the way they play. Also,
Absolutely.
they've had some fantastic Indian players as well. Be it Alexander Sesuraj, be it Edwin Vance Paul, be it anyone from the Tamilian contingent. They have been absolutely fantastic, and I personally believe if they still had Susairaj and Nanda in the squad, they would have ran away with the league at this point. There was
Hmm.
no holding them back. They
Yeah.
have had a bit of an issue with the Pedro Manzi slump, so that has affected them. But if Susairaj was in the squad, they would have ran away with the league completely.
And true that Abhranil, Pedro Manzi's goal against Aizwal was a cracker.
Probably goal of the season. Goal of the season.
Yeah, and that I saw a lot of videos there, a lot of statuses. I have a nice group of Indian fans who love, who are diehard supporters as well. We were Mumbai FC. We are Mumbai FC supporters. The and down. But yeah, but also since we're speaking about Chennai City FC, let's just get your quick thoughts on the FC Basel deal also. FC Basel have agreed to buy some minority stakes, I'm
Ye-
hearing,
No,
and the
it's
amount.
not. It's not
Yeah.
actually minority. They have apparently bought a 26% stake in Chennai City
Hmm.
FC,
Hmm.
and apparently their complete project is of reportedly around 15 million euros, which is a massive sum of money. And so obviously, I personally think the plan for Rohit Ramesh and his Chennai City team is that they want to get everything sorted by this season. So they'll probably be making a bid for the ISL next season as well, alongside East Bengal and Mohun Bagan, since apparently ISL will be the number one league in the country.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they need solid funding for that, and that is probably why the tie up with Basel. So if it's the thing is, this is not the first time an Indian club has made a tie up with a foreign club.
Yeah.
But so I sort of take these things with a pinch of salt, given everything that has happened with the Manchester United soccer schools, the DSK Liverpool tie-up. Then
Yeah.
you've had JCT tying up. You've you have a number of different clubs who've tied up recently, like even in the past few years, and none of those have really worked out. The only football tie-up that has really worked out is the Tata football tie-up that they had with the German club. There are a set of German clubs which Tata Football Academy players went and played. So that is the sort of the only thing that has really worked out. DSK Liverpool tie-up has also given us Lalinzola Changte. So there's
Yeah.
just an
Yeah.
exception here and there, but that's about it. So yeah, if it's done properly, I mean the will is there, the intent is there, everything looks positive, but the execution is everything. So if the execution is properly done, yes, Chennai City FC could be a real powerhouse down south, and we would probably even have the Chennai City FC and the Chennai FC derby in the ISL next season. Who knows?
Absolutely. I was going to come to there, and the prospect is lip smacking, because if done correctly, we could see Chennai City emerge as a superpower from the south. And
Absolutely.
when Chennai versus Bengaluru will turn out to be good. Some names that you mentioned, Pedro Manzi, perfectly, yeah, that's true. And so, Abranil, anything else that we are missing out? I mean, Real Kashmir have been
I think we sort of didn't cover how good Churchill have been this season as well.
correct, correct. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, go, please carry on.
So Churchill have been a real, like Goan football has been on a downhill since Dempo went, like Dempo got relegated after they won the league for 4 or 5 times at a stretch, I think. So since the Armando Colacho Dempo days, they have not, like Goan football has not seen a lot of positives. But
Mm,
Churchill's form this season has been amazing. Especially, I would like to, uh, pay my deepest, sort of, I won't say plaudits, but it's like I've seen Willis Plaza play for East Bengal, and
mm.
like I haven't been a fan of the way he plays. I sort of felt he's more effective as a false number 9 than an actual number 9 for us. Like I knew he had his skills and everything, but I wasn't sure if he was that good a finisher. But my God, this season he has been absolutely amazing. 17 goals and counting, and he's been absolutely on fire this season.
Yeah.
He's been helped very well by Anthony Wolf, who's another Kolkata football reject. He played for Mohun Bagan as well. Didn't do very well there, but he has been killing it in Churchill. I'd also like to mention the contribution of Dode Cisse in the starting lineup for Churchill brothers. He has been their underrated hero. He's worked his ass off, and he's everywhere with every Churchill brother attack. You see
Number
Cisse
10.
involved
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
So
And
they have been having a phenomenal season.
so this is turning out to be the I League has never disappointed us since the last few years, and this could well turn out to be another season where we get a different result. Where well, if I were to ask you your predictions towards the end, I know it's tough. It's a tough league. It's all down to what happens on that day. But if you were to predict the last day, how would you predict the table going into the last day? Going into the
Uh,
last day, think this will go down to the wire?
I absolutely believe it will go down to the wire. If you ask me, obviously, I'll say I want East Bengal to win the I League because it has been a long, long time coming. And
Yeah.
another interesting fact: the last time we did the double over Mohun Bagan was in the 2003-2004 season, which was also the last time we actually won the I League, which was called the National Football League then, obviously. But the last time we did the double over Mohun Bagan, we actually won the league. So we did it this time as well. So the omens are all there. The omens are positive. Let's hope we don't, mess it up somehow. But yeah, going into the last game week, I would definitely expect all of the four, Chennai, Churchill, East Bengal, and Real Kashmir to be in the fray. And I would personally love it if somehow Chennai were in the lead and then East Bengal go on to win their last game. I think it's away to Gokulam, East Bengal last game of the league calendar. So it would be great if we could somehow topple Chennai the last day and we could win the I League because Chennai have done the double over us and I was very disappointed especially when we lost to them in the last game. We were leading 1-0. We were
Yeah.
absolutely dominant and then we threw the game away.
Yeah,
So
that
that
was,
was
yeah.
a bitter pill to digest. But yeah, I hope that is how it entirely pans out. East Bengal for
That
the
was
win.
game of two halves, like them coming back in the second half, and
Right. And we just threw the
I
game. We didn't show any sort of game management skills. It was very disappointing. Very disappointing.
absolutely. So this has been one heck of an episode, and so such valuable inputs possible when you have someone extensively covering the league day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out. And if you we'll be mentioning Abranil's Twitter handle. Go follow him. Some excite. I also loved the East Bengal, the five matches you can never.
Right.
We actually read that before we went, and we did an episode on that as well. We had a few Mohan Bagan and East Bengal fans here, but we would love to have you with us in future as well, because the I League is
Absolutely.
stage. It's at such a stage. We might do one tomorrow, and East Bengal
Right.
after the East Bengal result, and we
Right.
might do
Yeah.
one that day. Who knows?
Right.
Uh,
Absolutely.
that's the
I,
like I
I
said.
I would love to be a part of the future episodes. If anything related to Indian football, I would love to be on
Absolutely.
board with the program.
Absolutely, and
Absolutely.
because Panenka View is committed to giving the fans, this, and they deserve it. Especially, let's talk about our leagues. Let's talk about the players. Let's talk about what's going on in the country. I know we have our
Absolutely.
statements outside, but yes, there is a league in our country, the prime league, according to me and many of the fans, especially for the fact that the talent it provides, the people, the atmosphere that it provides, and especially the fact that the youth academies it's provide. I've been a fan of Ranjit Bajaj. I've been a fan of his ranting as well. I hope we can have him as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, I hope even if it would be a pleasure to come here and speak his heart out, although he has. And thank you, Abranil. You've been such a
Absolutely.
this has been a top draw episode according to me and according to the many that will be watching. Yes, true that.
It's been a pleasure as well for me as well, Prasad. It's beautiful to see something so interesting in Indian football, because we always have European content available everywhere, but something so local, so organic. Even if it's like it may just be the last season of the I League with the
Hmm.
ISL taking over, but yeah, let's cover it and let's have let's go out in a blast if we have to go out, sort of a
And
way.
correct, and that's our point because Abranil, we are in the business end of the season,
Right.
and let's hope we can give our viewers some more talking points. Also, before we go, just a few minutes more. You mentioned you wanted to speak something on the youngsters that have surprised you this season. Well, go
Right.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with a few youngsters. I already mentioned Naurem Singh from Shillong Lajong. He has been fantastic. He's worked his like you don't see a lot of academy graduates playing their first proper full season. They have been very impressive. This like he has been very impressive playing forward. He was one of the main architects of the Shillong Lajong win over both Minerva and Churchill. From East Bengal, I would like Lalram Chulava isn't exactly a youngster. He
Hmm.
already has 3 to 4 seasons under his belt, but he's still pretty young. He's 22 or 23. He's been fantastic for us. Brandon, another exciting, again, not exactly a youngster, but he has been doing very well. For Chennai City FC, I would especially like to mention Edwin Vonspal and Gaurav Mora. Both have been fantastic in defense for them. They're
Hmm.
real prospects to watch out for. Minerva has some exciting talents as well, even though like they haven't really performed that well this season, but
Hmm.
there are people to look out for. And yeah, that's about these are the players that have really impressed so far in the league. There will be plenty more obviously coming to the forefront right now when things really get intense and everything. Youngsters have an opportunity to impress, but yeah, this has been also Danish Farooq. He had been like for Real Kashmir FC. He had a very good reputation for himself in the last season when they were in the second division. He has like blown a hot and cold this season, but he was impressive in the last couple of games. So yeah, he's another talent to watch out for.
And great, and it's so good to hear that I've just received a text saying top episode again, Panenka view, and thumbs up to Abranil who's doing such a great job covering extensively covering the league, and hope you be a regular. So that
Absolutely, absolutely.
these organic comments are something which I look forward to, considering the fact that people generally want to watch it rather than just spamming on their WhatsApps that here's our video, watch it. Here's our video, watch it. So Abranil, again, once again, thank you so much for your time and
Thank
stay in touch. Let's do more of this because, as you said, it's the last. It might be the last time we see I League, and ISL will be the main league next time onwards.
yeah.
So, anything you would like to say before we end?
I would like to say, people just we all have a European loyalties. It's what Prasad said. We all have a European football loyalties. But if you check out Indian football, the quality may not be as good as European football. But the passion, the intensity, the excitement, it's all there. All the elements are there. We just need, it needs a lot of organic growth as well. So check out Indian football. Check out I League. Even if you're not a fan, like give it a try. You'll absolutely love. You'll absolutely love it. And also, please subscribe to the Panenka View right away. Hopefully we'll be doing a lot more episodes together and
A
we'll be
lot
having
more.
a good time.
A lot more. I hope we can. People at Panenka view with me. We can travel. We can meet up someday in Kolkata or maybe Sri
Absolutely, absolutely,
or somewhere where an I League match is going on, and we can also shoot some more episodes there. But
absolutely.
like we said, it's been one another great episode on the Panenka view. And just to a reminder, Real Kashmir are on top of the I League. beating Gokulam Kerala FC 1-0 today, courtesy Krizo's second half goal. Churchill brothers lost to Shillong Lajong, and the big news is that East Bengal play tomorrow against Neroka, and they have the big one on Sunday against Real Kashmir in Srinagar. That will be one game that will be played in snow again. So make sure to check the Panenka view out. Make sure you follow Abhranil on Twitter. We'll be sharing the link in a few minutes below. And also make sure to subscribe to the Panenka View channel. Here's your host, Prasad Budkar, signing out with Abhranil Roy.
Bye.